morning. Welcome back to Coffee with Pastor Zach. We start our week, we live out our devotion each day looking at what the sermon text was about. This week's no exception. We look at John chapter 8, verses 31 through 36. This is the Reformation Sunday text. Thought it went well with confirmation and such. This is a text that you have every Reformation Sunday unless the preacher chooses to change it. But this famous line from Jesus, right? If you continue my word, you are truly my disciples. You know the truth, and the truth will make you free. Right? The truth will set you free, commonly vernacular. But I think it's interesting, though I didn't get to in the sermon. It's usually, I feel like, a Monday turns into, right? It's the tidbits that didn't fit in the sermon, unless you wanted to go on for a half hour. True disciples is the section, right? If you are truly my disciples, you will know the truth. It's an interesting little clause there. In the NRSV, the heading is true disciples, or some true discipleship. It's interesting because when I heard this text and studied it this past week, the section that I was focused on was, right, the truth will set you free. The power of truth, as Pilate asks dramatically in the Gospel of John. What is truth? It's a theme throughout the whole Gospel. Freedom, as we obviously focus on the sermon. Freedom of a Christian, like we've been studying in Christian Education Adults Edition. That's where my mind went. And yet the translators of the Bible, for this version, the NRSV, they want us to point to that clause, the true discipleship. True disciples will know the truth. The truth will set them free. Which is interesting because it kind of implies there are disciples who aren't true disciples, right? If there are true disciples, there must be some that aren't. I don't know what to make of that. I feel like this week I'm going to focus on how God has made us free. And with the Reformation, of course, this is a text that it's not our actions, but God's that save. So what do we make then as Lutherans theologically of this clause? If you continue my word, then you are truly my disciples. Actually, quite a bit. We talk about faith alone, word alone, sola scriptura. If we continue in the word, we are truly disciples. So whose word is it that we continue in? Whose will? Word and will, remember, are interchangeable in the Greek. God's. It is God's will that makes us truly disciples. If you continue, and I love that, we continue. We didn't, if you engage God's word or start in God's word, no, it's continue. Continue what God has already started. God has already started the action of discipleship. And so it is God's action that helps us be better at being disciples, being true disciples. So if anything, it fits very nicely, right? We don't make ourselves true disciples. Our works do not save us, right? But God is the one who truly makes us disciples. It is God who truly sets us free. It's God who truly has the truth. Truly has the truth. Good sentence. Pre-coffee sentence. Give me a break. So it fits really well. It's like there's a reason they picked this for the lectionary for Reformation Day or something. It's God's action. And so, as you're going through your day today, remember it's God that sets you free. It's God that is true. It's God that gives you the gift of faith. We talked about the week previous of all the blessings that God is giving us, and I hope that you are upkeeping with those lists too. But I hope you hear again that God continues to give. And God continues to provide in so many ways. And so, on this Monday, be blessed, knowing, and I mean this in a nice way, it's not about you. It's about God. I'll see you tomorrow.